I love what I just saw. It's going to go everywhere. I don't have to say I hope it goes everywhere. It says AOC responds to Trump's McDonald's costume. But really, she's also talking about Elon Musk and this lottery. It's this woman is just, she's so smart, and it's so refreshing to know that there are smart politicians out there, smart people out there, as few in number that they are. They're out there. It's just so refreshing. It's so awesome. But anyway, beautiful little speech here.
Yeah. He's not only just dumping millions and millions of dollars here in the state of Pennsylvania, acting like he's from here, acting like he knows what Pennsylvania is about. It's not just what he's doing. He's doing these little, I don't know, these little contests where he's promising people $1 million, in some kind of lottery giveaway if they sign up for his list. And I want us to put together what those two things are like. When you have a billionaire just dangling $1 million to those of us, and many of us, who are struggling to make ends meet, if they dance for him. You've got Donald Trump putting on a little McDonald's costume because he thinks that's what people do. They're not trying to empathize with us. They are making fun of us.
You damn well better believe it. McDonald's costume is a great way to put it too. Because not only was the entire engagement a big setup, and it directly has to do with the fact that Kamala Harris used to work normal jobs before she became as successful as she did. He's not doing it because he empathizes with the common man. Hell, I can look at those photos. Anybody who's worked fast food could look at those photos and could tell you, list off about a dozen different reasons he would be fired in 15 minutes. It is a costume. I didn't get an apron to put on over my clothes when I worked at McDonald's, okay? I had to wear an ugly ass uniform. He empathizes with the common man. Where's the part where he gets bitched at and yelled at because he's not wearing the right pants? Where's the part where he's sticking his head out the window too far and the manager screams at him for that? Where's the part where he's not allowed to engage in idle banter with customers? Where is the part where the guy training him on how to use the fry baskets is treating him like a fucking idiot because he doesn't know what he's doing? All that shit happens to people when they work those jobs. He just walked in, threw on an apron, which is not what they wear at McDonald's, and he cosplayed a McDonald's worker, just like she's saying. He was there for all of 15 minutes, handing out a couple of bags. Where are the people throwing drinks at him? Where are the people bitching and swearing at him because they didn't get their food fast enough? Where's the sexual harassment? Where's the regular harassment? You can't, and I mean no politician could. I'm going to be totally fair and I'm going to be totally honest. No politician going there for a photo op, because that's all it could ever be, would ever get the feel of what it's like to actually work at one of those places. They wouldn't be able to comprehend what it's really like for people. And I'm glad that she brought up that he left and he's laughing at people. As soon as he got back into that motorcade, sat there, probably wiped some of the freaking makeup off his face like he's the damn Joker, and immediately started chastising the people he was working with. Immediately, probably started bitching about what kind of losers work at a place like that. He doesn't even know enough to get the idea of what it's really like. And you can bet your ass that McDonald's location spent like 2 days straight scrubbing up and wiping down every individual little McNugget sauce and organizing this and cleaning that, because the president was going to be coming down. I fell down the basement stairs at a McDonald's once because the stairs were covered with grease. Oh my God, there really is no way of comprehending what it's like. And even then, even after spending 15 minutes with an apron and just handing a couple of bags to some pre-chosen supporters, going nicely through a drive-thru, even then, that he got into the car at the end of it and he said, "Those dumb, low-down, trashy sons of bitches that must work at places like this. I never want to step foot into a fast food restaurant again." You just know it.
They're making fun of us. Donald Trump thinks that people who work at McDonald's are a joke. Elon Musk thinks that dangling money in front of a working person is a cute thing to do.
Yep. He does. And he's only changed the rules on that shit like 3 or 4 times already? God, you're a fucking multi-billionaire. I mean, they keep saying people can't even comprehend what that type of money is like. This guy, if he really wanted to make a difference, he could have given out $20 million prizes. He wouldn't even have to have a lottery. He could hand out $1 million, $5 million, $10, $50, $20 million to every single person that lined up for him on election day, let's say. And it wouldn't make a dent in his net worth. But no. First of all, he's cheap. And, like she's saying, he probably thinks it's cute. Ooh, I got $1 million over here for you. $1 million. That's gotta buy so many Walmart clothes. It's patronizing, is what it is. That's the exact word she's looking for. Because offering a whole $1 million to people who sign his little pledge, or Trump cosplaying as a freaking minimum wage worker, pretending he has any idea what it's like to work. It's insulting because they're patronizing working class and poor people.
when the election of our lives is before us. Because that's what people and billionaires like that do. They have absolutely no idea what our lives are like. And so they think this callousness is a way of connecting. It's not a way of connecting. Because you and I both know that when that camera turns on and they turn around and go into their car, they're laughing at us. They think we are the suckers, and they've said that publicly. That's why Elon Musk thinks that your vote can be bought with $1. That's why he thinks that if you put a bunch of money on a mailer and shove it in your mailbox, you'll just do whatever he says. But Pennsylvania, we're smarter than that, aren't we? We don't take orders from billionaires, do we? We don't allow our elections to be bought, don't we? No, we do not. Because we are going to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and send them to the White House.
Nice. Oh, I can't wait to find out why Musk is so freaking publicly shaking in his boots about what will happen to him if Trump doesn't win. I can't wait to find out what somebody who has whatever on him has on him and comes out with it. I can't wait. The fucking irony of these people that yelled about George Soros buying elections, but championing Musk doing it is appalling and also predictable. The hypocrisy is palpable. They have to preemptively accuse their opponents of doing what they want to do or already have done, so they can say it's only fair that they do it too. Projection. It's come to a point where they're now accusing the left of projecting. They just take all talking points and reverse it. No, you, like I've said, I must have typed it on Twitter 1 billion times. No, you. Like a child. I have never, and I am being honest here, I'm being fair here, I have never, ever heard a logical, reasonable, well thought out argument from anybody on the right. It is always, always something that they have seen or heard or have been told by people across the aisle. They take it and they pluck out a couple of key terms or labels, insert their own, and then they repeat it. Anyone who has any kind of real experience in the world, you have got to know what I'm talking about, because you have got to have encountered people like this before in your life. I'm not even talking, this has nothing to do with the election. It has nothing to do with politics. Have you ever met a person that is so, for lack of a better term, fucked in the head? They are either so vindictive, or they're so immature, or they are so whacked out in the brain, you don't know if it's like low IQ or if it's a real mental illness. Maybe they're in your family, maybe they're people you used to call friends, maybe they're people you work with, maybe they're people you've encountered online, I don't know. Maybe they're neighbors, former bosses, but there's just something missing there. There's like a disconnect in the brain with these people. You ever find yourself arguing with these people or trying to have a conversation with these people, or just having them hear or see you having a conversation with people, and then you notice that they kind of rip off something that you said at a previous date. I mean, they say imitation is the greatest form of flattery. And yeah, I guess it could be, but it kind of isn't, because it's kind of creepy. I've known people like this. I have people like this in my family. I'll notice that when I express myself or I debate with someone or them. I say certain things and then I notice they're saying the same thing. Like they've ripped my arguments off of me. And now they're using it in their arguments with people. And yeah, imitation and flattery and all that, and I guess it would be okay if, they were using it for a good reason. I mean, it's not like if I bring up arguments about a certain subject that other people may not have used those same arguments, but these people will use other people's words to make them sound smart when they're arguing against those people. Like what they're saying right here. You see it so much with maggots with this election. They just take talking points and they reverse them. That's what I'm talking about. The whole no you thing. No you. I have to put it in caps on Twitter. And that's all I'll say to certain people. No you. No you. They sound like children. It's like, it's astounding at times. And that's why they're saying it. They've got no original thought in their head. They've got no argument. They've got nothing to stand on. There's no logic. There's that disconnect. They're immature. They don't know how to form coherent thoughts. They don't know how to support their arguments because there is no support. There's no supporting this bullshit that they believe. They just want their way, like children. And that's why you will get them using our words and then switching some names or some phrases and just regurgitating it back like a retarded parrot. And they don't see the irony or they don't care. It's like they learn from us how to argue, how to sound smart, how to sound like they know what they're talking about, and they take out Republicans and they insert Democrats and then they regurgitate it. And they expect people are gonna be wowed by this. No, motherfucker, that's like verbatim what I said about you yesterday. You think people aren't going to look this up? You think people don't know this? And that's the whole reason Trump went to play dress up at a McDonald's. It has nothing to do with empathizing with you or me. It has nothing to do with wanting to do the right thing. It has nothing to do with minimum wage, labor problems, anything like that. Wage disparity, getting to know what your constituents go through. It has nothing to do with any of that. Somebody told him. It's not even his idea. I can tell you that right now, and I'll put money on it. It's not even his idea. Somebody told him, you know, sir, Kamala Harris used to actually work at McDonald's. She used to do all this stuff once upon a time. She actually knows kind of what she's talking about because she used to work for a living. Just like AOC used to work for a living, Bernie Sanders used to be arrested during civil rights protests. You know, sir, the younger generations, they're kind of getting wise to all the theatrics. These younger generations don't like being bullshitted anymore. You're gonna have to do something. You're gonna have to do something to prove you know what it's like to work too. You know what it's like to struggle like the common man too. This Kamala Harris worked at McDonald's thing, it's really, really bad for our image. So he agreed to go to a shut down McDonald's for 10 minutes, put an apron on, watch somebody else cook the fries, and then hand a couple of bags out the window for a photo op. And there are idiots on the right saying this is what working at McDonald's is, because Kamala Harris, she was just lying about that. If she were lying, he wouldn't step foot in a fucking fast food restaurant. She is telling the truth, and apparently McDonald's confirmed it. She knows what it's like to work. She's been working her whole life. She's just lucky enough she doesn't have to put it on a resume anymore. Trump, however, guy probably hasn't worked 10 minutes in his entire life. He might as well have been inside a spaceship going into a McDonald's. And you know he didn't want to do it. You know it wasn't his idea. He only did it because Kamala Harris worked at a fucking McDonald's. And these stupid maggots, they can't even admit that much to themselves. The only reason he was there is because Kamala Harris knows what it's like to work. And McDonald's was one of her jobs. And you know what? If Kamala Harris wanted to go back into her old McDonald's, she wouldn't have to be trained. She would know what she's doing. And they still wouldn't care. This is what cults do. This is what mental illness does. Always hypocrisy, always the party of stupidity and hypocrisy. Man-made climate change isn't real. Hurricanes are created by Democrats. Law and order, votes for a convicted felon. Pro-Second Amendment, votes for a candidate who brought more change to gun laws than Obama. Party of small government, wants to control your medical procedures. They took our jobs. Votes for the most anti-union candidate since Reagan, and a man who would replace all of his employees with illegal immigrants if he could, just to get away with it. Check all the employment records of his golf courses and casinos. The list goes on and on. The reason is they're cultist morons who cannot face the sad reality of their existence and that their lives didn't work out how they wanted. And it's everyone else's fault. They cannot possibly be the reason they aren't millionaires. It's because a migrant worker took their job. Just like Hitler blaming Jews for Germany's struggle after World War I, he's using scapegoats for dumb American struggles. It's all the Dems' fault. It's illegal immigrants' fault. You know what? They aren't even blaming people anymore. Now these dolts, their broken, fucked up minds are so clouded and cluttered with all the shit that they see on television. And that's another funny thing. All these boomers, all these old pricks who want to blame children for everything wrong, and it's the video games, and it's the rap. It's the hippin' and the hoppin' and the bippin' and the boppin'. It's all that shit. But you know, these people are so fucked up watching so many movies and so much TV, so much bullshit that they see online on Fox News, buying it all, soaking it up like a sponge, that they're actually saying Democrats are controlling the weather and Jews have lasers in space. Now I know because I've got clear over 100 World War Z videos on YouTube. Check out the World War Z Jerusalem chapters. They literally use a laser from space made by Jews. I'm telling you, and I will always stand by this. She walked into the room when some little doucher hanging out with her daughter or whoever the fuck she saw was playing World War Z, and she saw that. And it somehow seeped into her subconscious, and it popped out again, made its way through the obstacle course of garbage, bullshit, fragmented crap that she's got floating around and rattling around in her empty fucking brain. And now she's convinced Jews have space lasers. And it's like this for all these damn boomers. It's like this for all the maggots. Every accusation is a confession. And I'm telling you, and I will put money on this. They watch too much TV. They watch too many movies. They listen to too much doom and gloom from channels like Fox News. They listen to everything. And it gets added into this mixing bowl of crap churning around in their brains, inside their skulls. And now you don't even need a particular demographic as a scapegoat anymore. They will say that we control the weather and we control hurricanes and Jews have lasers in space. Are you hearing this shit? Because these aren't just the ramblings of some homeless boomer fuck on the street sitting outside of a Target. These are your talking head Republicans. These are your political pundits. This is Fox News. These are your elected representatives that are saying this shit. That Jews have lasers in space and Democrats are controlling the weather. This is how out of touch with the reality they are. This is how cultist they are. This is how fucked in the head they are. They're not even on planet Earth anymore. They will make up and believe anything. Anything. Nothing surprises me anymore. And this is why it's so dangerous. Because these people vote. These people are in office. And all of their fans and their sycophantic ass lickers vote. And like people have said before, they said it with W. Bush, I don't want someone who says that they speak to Jesus before they make decisions with his finger on a nuclear launch button. I don't want someone who believes that the world cannot end until Jesus touches down in old Galilee to be in charge of military strategy. I don't want someone who believes that the earth is 6,000 years old to head up the education department. And I don't want people who believe that Democrats, by virtue of being Democrats or liberals or progressives or whoever doesn't vote like them, can control the weather and steer hurricanes and shoot off lasers from space. I don't even want them to vote for who becomes president of the United States, let alone being in any position in any office. That spells doom for all of us. I don't want that. You don't want a cultist in office. Think of Dead Space. Remember Dead Space with the unitologists? They infiltrated every echelon of government and policy. They were captains of space vessels. They were in government. They were penning laws. They were teaching children. These fucking sick-ass cult bastards. And, you know, it's really, it wasn't even the aliens that really led to humanity's demise. It was these fucking cultists that ruined it for their entire species. Because being in a cult is dangerous. Not having a grip on reality and being in charge of anything is dangerous. Okay, I just wanted to rant.